Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. Shut up. Shut up. Hello everyone, my name is Joshua, and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Coffee, Cats, and King, where we will discuss books, both new and old. I will share with you pictures of my cats who will make you wish they were your cats, and I will drink enough coffee for me and everybody watching. Recently I was tagged by Juan over at Plagued by Visions for a tag basically where you compare yourself to serial killers and psychos and villains of other books and see where you might match up and just get your thoughts about that. And at first I was like, really, he tagged me for this. I don't know why, because I'm a pretty nice guy. I think I'm a nice guy. I don't think that I come off to be, a mean guy or an angry guy or a guy that anyone should be concerned about in any way. But I guess I do in some way. So this one is for Juan. So Juan, thank you, buddy. Thank you for. So, right. So thank you, Juan, for including me on this tag. First, I feel like I need to defend myself a little here. So I'm going to start with some reasons why this should not pertain to me and why I am not any sort of psycho killer or anything like that. So, first reason being, right here. See, I'm married. I'm happily married, and I feel like that automatically grounds a person. It makes you a little more zened out, a little more relaxed. Because I know that I have my wife there. If I start getting upset about things, like someone calls me a psycho or something, I have my wife there who can calm me back down. And so, being a married man, I think that's one point for me not being any sort of weirdo killer or anything. And then two is this shirt that I'm wearing today, this Disney shirt. So I'm going to show it off here for a second because people have asked about the comic strip itself, and because only a happy person can wear a Disney shirt, can wear a Mickey Mouse shirt, right? And only a happy person can drink from a mug, a tiny mug like this with a little, sunshine on it. And I've got a cappuccino in here. And honestly, what sort of killer drinks a cappuccino, right? What sort of killer drinks a cappuccino out of a happy sunshine mug? So that about does it, right? You guys have known me for a while. You know I'm a swell guy. I'm a nice guy. I don't get upset about things often, So, that said, I am going to talk about a couple books here, though, that involve killers or people who would be considered psychotic in some way, and just tell you how I perceive them, how I take them. So, first book here, I want to talk about, actually the first two books that I want to talk about are books where really it's not their fault. It's just not. The first being Stephen King's Cujo. So, Cujo, as we all know, is about this particular dog who ends up with a severe case of rabies, and he commits all sort of atrocities around this town. He hurts people, he kills people, Is it his fault? No, not in any way is it his fault. But he is still blamed by each and every person in this book. And I gotta feel for him. I have to feel for the dog here. You know, it's not on him whatsoever. He is in immense pain, mentally and physically, and you know, he's already a dog to begin with. He's not of high intelligence, but now his body is working against him, and instead of being able to look for help, you know, to his owners and to the people who are usually so kind and nice and who are supposed to take care of him, instead of doing that, they shun him and they call him a monster and they want to kill him. So what is he to do except defend himself, right? So, do I think that Cujo, do I think that it is his fault? Do I think that he is the one that needs to be blamed here? No, absolutely not. No, it is the people who are not willing to help him, the people who, you know, who just call him a monster and call him a killer. And so, how anyone can read this book and think, oh, Cujo is a terrible, terrible being. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You know, I don't get it. I don't understand. Yeah. So next, I want to talk about another book that that I really enjoyed, and I think you guys would enjoy it very much if you haven't read it before. This is definitely on the crime side, but very much horror as well, and that is Rex Miller's Chain Gang. And it's got this nice fold-out cover of Chain Gang himself there. And so let me just tell you a quick story here, basically. So Chain Gang is this man who was built to be a killer, okay? In this case, basically the U.S. government did this to him. They locked this man up and they turned him into the ultimate killer. He is 500 pounds of steroid-induced muscle. He has an intelligence far beyond a normal person, and they have spent years psychologically torturing this man into becoming the ultimate killing machine. And they use him during Vietnam, and he's just an absolute monster. He kills entire villages of people, and they use him as a tool. And then, when the war is over, when all is said and done, they lock him back up. And Chain Gang eventually gets out. And Chain Gang does some really awful things. But again, just like in the case of Cujo, is any of this Chain Gang's fault? No, not even a little bit. He was a normal individual who could have become so many things, and his government just completely went against him. His government turned him into a killer. They turned him into this monster, and then they think they can use him as a tool and lock him up. Well, when you have done that to a person, when you have expanded their mind in that way and shown them in their head that it is okay to do this, that humans are just another form of animal, and any animal who dies for some kind of reason, so it's really not that big of a deal. When you do that, you can't just you know, turn a valve and shut that off. It is in Chain Gang's head now that it is okay to kill, that in fact he has to kill, because when he doesn't kill, it physically and mentally destroys him. So what is Chain Gang to do? Really, what is Chain Gang to do? So again, anyone that's against this guy, does he do horrific, awful things? Yes, absolutely. Can he help it? Not even the slightest bit. I'm sorry, this gets me a little upset. It gets me a little upset, and I'm still a little mad. A little mad about Juan, for one, and I'm a little mad because these guys, they're good people. They could be good people. Cujo was a great little dog, you know, before before rabies. Chain gang, he had his whole life ahead of him before the government enslaved him essentially and turned him into a monster, into a machine. Now, these next two people in the books that I want to talk about, they have a little more choice in what happens, but really they're just trying to do the right things, and that's what's important here. Is sometimes a human life doesn't mean as much maybe as making the right choice, and we're going to learn that in these next two books. So the first being David Martin's Bring Me Children. Now, I know what you're going to say. Yeah, it's a creepy old guy on the cover, and he's all spooky and such, you know. So, Bring Me Children is the story of this doctor who he takes it upon himself to start killing children. And it's not like that, okay? He helps women through the birthing process during pregnancy, and sometimes he feels that it is in the best interest of these young couples to not have kids yet, because he knows that those kids are going to inhibit them for the rest of their lives. They're going to prevent these young people from becoming the best versions of themselves. And it's not that he hates children necessarily. It's not that he thinks that these couples shouldn't have kids, but they shouldn't have kids yet. He's trying to give them an opportunity here to make things right and to make the most of their lives before they screw it up with 18 to 35 years of a whining brat. So, all he does is he helps them through the birthing process, and when the baby is born, he will take the baby out of the room, and he comes back and says, "I'm so sorry, but your child died during birth." And it's a sad thing, but then he helps families who need kids, who can't have kids. He helps them to get babies. And sometimes he can't find a place for this child, and so yeah, maybe the child dies. But he's doing what he thinks is right, you know? He's trying to help these people. He's trying to let them make the most of their lives. And so I don't agree with his methods. I think that, he's a little off there. But, so is he a psycho? Yeah, I think he is. Do I think he's necessarily wrong? Well, in his world, no. He's doing the right thing. He thinks he's doing the right thing, and that's something, you know? And then the last book that I want to talk about here is another Stephen King, because King is excellent at this sort of thing. He understands. That's all I'm going to say. He understands, you know? I'm not going to say he understands me because I'm not like these people, but he understands. So, Stephen King, in the book Dolores Claiborne. Now, Dolores, out of all these people, I think she has a true reason for what she does. Now, I don't want to spoil anything for no one that for the people that haven't read this book. I don't want to spoil it, you know. But I'm going to say that Dolores, she's killed people, and or one person, maybe two people, depends on where you're at with things. But she's killed. But she did it for love, and she did it to protect someone very dear to her, and really, there's no faulting this woman. Out of all these people, Chain Gang did wrong, and on some subliminal level, he knows he did wrong, but it's really not his fault. Cujo is a dog. He can't be blamed for this. The doctor in Bring Me Children, well, he's a little wacko, honestly, but he thinks he's doing right. Dolores is actually genuinely doing the right thing here. She is preventing an atrocity so much worse than the death of one awful person. So, I'm 100% on her side. If it came down to that person or the one she's trying to protect, I would, without a second's hesitation, I would take that individual and I would handle the problem, is what I'm saying. So there you go, guys. It's just 4 quick books that I wanted to talk about, and that I wanted to kind of do this tag with. It was an interesting tag. It wasn't my favorite because I'm still a little upset. I'm just a little bit upset, Juan. A little bit upset at you, but that's okay, buddy, because we're friends and we're gonna get through this, right? So yeah, guys, just drink cappuccinos and be happy that we have people who love us, and that we can laugh and love and fun, buddy. Just I'm gonna give you a call later, okay? And I want to talk about some things just personally, me and you. So yeah, all right, guys, have a nice day and cheers.